All right, so you're a computer science student and you're looking at the world of AI thinking, how do I get in on that? Well, you've come to the right place. Think of this as your personal coaching session. We're going to lay out a clear, no-nonsense roadmap to take you from the classroom to a killer career in AI engineering.
So why AI engineering? Let's just cut straight to the chase. How about this number? That's the average salary for an AI engineer in the US right now. And look, it's not just about the money, but that number is a massive signal. It tells you just how much demand there is for these skills.
But a good salary today is one thing. What about the future? Well, take a look at this. The AI market is just exploding. We're talking about it more than tripling in size in the next 6 years. This isn't just some tech fad, it's a fundamental shift. You are positioning yourself to be at the very center of it all. So here's my promise to you today. We're going to take this huge, kind of scary-sounding goal of becoming an AI engineer, and we're going to break it down into a completely manageable step-by-step plan. Think 12, maybe 15 months, and you'll have the skills to build real-world AI systems. Ready? Here's the game plan. We'll start with the big picture, the opportunity. Then we'll walk through the timeline, months 1 to 3 for your foundation, 4 to 7 for mastering core AI, then 8 to 10 for learning how to ship products. And finally, we'll talk about specializing and actually launching your career. Let's do this. So what does an AI engineer actually do? The most important word is build. You know, a data scientist might find an insight in the data, a researcher might invent a new algorithm, but the AI engineer, you're the one who takes all of that and builds it into a real product that people can actually use. You're the architect. Let's just zoom all the way out for a second. Artificial intelligence, at its heart, it's really simple. It's the whole area of computer science that's focused on making machines do smart stuff, things that usually require a human brain, like understanding language or recognizing faces. Now, this is super important to get straight. Think of it like those Russian nesting dolls. AI is the biggest doll, the whole idea. You open it up, and inside you find machine learning, which is about teaching computers from data. Open that one up, and you get deep learning, which uses these big, brain-like networks for even tougher problems. We're going to hit on all three. All right, let's get into your first phase, the first 3 months. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This part is absolutely critical. This is your boot camp. You're forging the foundational skills that everything else will be built on. If you nail this part, the rest of the journey gets so much easier. So here we are on our map, right at the very beginning. Months 1 through 3 are all about building that solid foundation. We're talking math, programming, and how to work with data. You can't build a skyscraper on a shaky foundation, and you definitely can't build a career in AI without this stuff. So what's in your foundational toolkit? 4 key things. First, you've got to master Python. It is the language of AI. Second, you need its key sidekicks, NumPy and Pandas. Third, the math that makes it all work. Linear algebra, stats, a bit of calculus. And fourth, basic software engineering habits, like using Git. And why is this so important? Well, think about it like this. Python, NumPy, and Pandas. They aren't just random tools. They are your workshop. Learning them is like a chef learning how to use their knives. Without them, you just can't do the job. It's that simple. Look, once you get through these first 3 months, I want you to actually pause. Seriously, take a breath. You will have built the launch pad for your entire career. That is a massive deal. So give yourself credit. Now, let's see what we're going to build on top of it. Okay, foundation is poured and set. Now it's time to start putting up the walls and the frame of our house. These next 4 months are when you're going to dive headfirst into the core concepts of machine learning and deep learning. This is where the real magic starts to happen. Back on our roadmap, you can see we're moving right into the heart of it all, AI and machine learning. This is a huge mental shift. You're going from telling a computer exactly what to do, step by step, to actually teaching it how to learn and make decisions on its own from data. So what's on the curriculum here? You'll master the 2 main flavors of learning, supervised and unsupervised. You'll build classic algorithms from scratch, like linear regression, and then you're going to level up to the big stuff, neural networks, like CNNs and RNNs, using the industry-standard tools, PyTorch and TensorFlow. To make this totally concrete, let's just talk about CNNs for a second. It sounds like a complex term, but this is the technology that allows a self-driving car to see a pedestrian. It's what lets your phone automatically tag your friends in photos. When you learn CNNs, you are literally learning how to give machines the sense of sight. Now,
theory is one thing, but you have to apply it. So here's your first big project, a sentiment analysis API. You'll teach a model to read a piece of text and figure out if it's positive or negative. Then, you'll wrap it in an API so any other app can use its intelligence. This is a huge milestone for your portfolio.
You know, a model that just sits on your laptop is, well, it's a cool science fair project. But a model that can serve millions of users 24/7 without breaking a sweat, that's not science anymore. That's engineering. And that's exactly what we're tackling next.
If you look at our roadmap, we're now moving into this world called MLOps, or machine learning operations. It's a fancy name for a simple, crucial idea. How do we take the models we build and turn them into robust, automated, and scalable products? It's about bringing real engineering discipline to AI. Your toolbox is about to get a serious upgrade. You're going to learn tools for tracking experiments, setting up automated deployment pipelines, getting comfortable on a major cloud platform like AWS or Google Cloud, and mastering containerization with Docker and Kubernetes. This is the stuff that gets you hired.
Let me give you a perfect example of why this matters. Docker. It solves the #1 nightmare for every developer, the "but it works on my machine" problem. Docker lets you package your entire AI app, code, model, everything, into a neat little box that runs exactly the same everywhere. Your laptop, a massive server, it doesn't matter. It just works.
So at this point, you've got the full end-to-end skill set. You can take an idea, build a model, and deploy it as a real system. That is amazing. Now it's time to go from being a generalist to being an expert. It's time to pick a specialty and go deep.
And right now, these are two of the hottest specializations out there. You could go deep into large language models, working with text, chatbots, all that cool stuff. Or you could dive into computer vision, teaching machines to see and interpret the world. The key is to pick the one that you are genuinely excited about.
So I'll ask you straight up, what gets you fired up? Is it the idea of building tools that can write, create, and communicate with language? Or is it the challenge of building the eyes for the next generation of robots and self-driving cars? This is where you start to carve out your unique place in the industry. And of course, the journey never really ends. This field moves at lightning speed, so staying at the top of your game means you're always learning, you're part of the community, you're thinking about the ethics of what you build, and maybe you're even contributing back to open source. This is how you build a long-term career. Okay, let's land this plane. You've learned the skills, you've picked a specialty. Now, how do you package all that up and actually get a job? It really comes down to your portfolio, the proof you can do the work, and understanding the career paths ahead of you. Your portfolio should tell a story. It should show a clear progression. Start with a solid foundational project, maybe a cool data dashboard. Then show off your core ML skills with an intermediate project, like that sentiment analyzer. And finally, cap it off with an advanced end-to-end MLOps project that proves you can ship real products. And as you look down the road, you've basically got two main tracks you can follow. You can keep getting deeper and deeper technically, becoming a senior and then a principal engineer, the true expert. Or you can move into leadership, guiding teams as a lead, a manager, or eventually a director. Both are incredible paths. So if you only take one single thing away from our chat today, please let it be this: build things. Don't just get stuck watching tutorials forever. The real learning happens when you're applying the theory, struggling with your own code, and solving your own problems. Projects are what turn knowledge into skill. And that's it. You have the complete roadmap, from your very first line of Python all the way to deploying a specialized AI system. The path is clear. The opportunity is absolutely massive. So the only question I have left for you is this: what will you build first?